Welcome to Clubhouse Friday. I'm back with my fellow co-host, Mermaid Boy. And our guest this week is my big bro, Dallas Ryder.
Hey, how's it going?
So let's just begin. How is my besties with juggling life between judging and regular shows?
Oh man. Oh gee, it's tough, but honestly, I think to myself like, man, it's hard fitting in this along with regular life. And then I'm like, oh, but the contestants like have to work on outfits the whole week, and then they're here, and I'm like, I should just stop complaining.
So tell me, what is the inspiration behind tonight? Because I know we all went with gender fuck as our makeup theme today.
Yes. My inspiration was pink witchy bitch. I actually made this hat for a taco cosplay from the Adventure Zone. So, but it's just a pretty lady here to maybe steal your children. I don't know.
It's okay because, like we said earlier, you look like one of those anime aunts that we would see.
Thank you. Where the protagonist is like, "Wow, you're so old," and then she's like, "Shut up! What do you mean I'm old?"
Yeah, I'm living my twin brother fantasy, Nico D'Angelo, Dark
Yes,
Prince of Hell.
get it.
What about you, Mermaid Boy?
I own a very fancy gluten-free cauliflower artisan pizza shop in, downtown Los Angeles. In a cartoon, though.
We live for cartoon pizza shops, though.
Yes, I'm Mermaid the Pizza Boy tonight.
Mermaid the Pizza Boy.
Meet Mermaid the Pizza Boy.
I've been working very hard, as you can see from the bags under my eyes.
Wow, it's real hard to run a pizza shop and deliver the pizzas.
So let's get into the episode of this week. Last week we did sadly see Karma. Last week we fixed that. I feel like Trixie Mattel when we're like, rewind. Last week we saw Karma's a Bitch win, and sadly the bottom two was Lady Monet and Anastasia. What did you guys think about that?
I felt like Karma was going to do really well because she has she's nice, but I feel like she can read. She definitely can be a bitch if need be, and look at that, she was. But I kind of expected some people who were like, I don't know, like French and Monet and Anya. I don't know if they like reading people, so I did kind of expect them to be in the bottom, but it's just sad to see them there because I like them a lot.
What about you, Mermaid Boy? What'd you think?
For the acting challenge with the long play, I thought Karma did a really good job of like embodying the character, so I thought it made sense that she won, and her runway was good too. It's hard for me to even remember who was in the bottom for each challenge, but I do actually remember that Lady Monet just kind of had trouble like reading the lines and getting into character at the same time, just because it was kind of like all new, like it was like a rehearsal and a performance at the same time. So I don't really hold it against her for not being as adaptive. It was pretty crazy to see Karma do so well at it, but I think that just speaks to Karma's like the kind of performance that she's used to doing is more like stage acting.
Yeah.
Whereas Lady Monet is not as comfortable in that realm. So it was definitely an actual challenge. Like it was a very hard challenging challenge for everybody. So
Especially because
Lady
last
Monet
week
did
was
a good job with
Shakespeare, so that's another
Yeah, exactly. Shakespeare is not easy for anybody. I've seen like regular actors, not like but I mean just like people that do acting as their thing, still struggle with Shakespeare with rehearsals and a director. So when it's like seeing everyone just interpret these characters right off the bat. I thought everyone did a really good job, like in terms of just like for a first read through, basically as a performance, I was impressed. But at the end of the day, we're also playing a game at the same time, so some decisions have
Also,
to be made, unfortunately.
I think I was totally thinking about the wrong challenge. So oops. So this is Shakespeare then, right?
Oh well, we were just reviewing the last week before,
Oh, okay.
but we're going to talk about the roast tonight.
Oh, okay. Yes,
We were just talking about the last outcome going into the next challenge.
Yeah, that's fair. It was, in that case, Shakespeare. It was kind of sad to see Monet in the bottom because I wanted her to be really high energy, but alas.
Yeah, and I thought Anya did okay too. It was just hard when there wasn't a lot to base it off of, really. It was kind of just like, I don't know. It's kind of hard to expect people to be perfect at a performance, but unfortunately for them, Karma was really good, so she kind of set the bar.
Yeah.
Everyone did a good job though at the end of it. It was really a challenge.
Really hard.
But it was still fun to watch. They all gave us a good performance. Okay, moving on.
Well, moving on to that. Question for you guys. This is gonna be a hard one. We do have to get into some hard stuff here. Okay, so as you know, my daughter Anastasia has been in the bottom basically the first 5 episodes. Do you think it's starting to get to her?
Maybe a bit. I mean, it's hard to, because it's not even that she's doing super poorly, it's just everyone's doing well. So it's not enough to be doing well, right? So, but it can really get you down just when you're like, oh man, I'm in the bottom again, I'm lip syncing again, I have to, like, I don't know. I think it definitely can take a mental toll. What about you guys?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
in terms of the competition, I don't think she's letting it affect her performance, but emotionally, I see her struggling to keep her. She's always on point, or she's always 100% with her energy and her aura and the way she presents herself before we're recording, while we're getting ready, during the challenges, So I see her struggling to keep all of that up, but she's doing a good job at it. And not to spoil, but I don't think she lets it get her down.
Yeah, I can definitely, like, not spoiling anything, but I can definitely, like, say our fans are in for a surprise.
Yes.
She's putting the work in.
She's growing a lot, especially with this competition. She's learning, like, from her mistakes and correcting them along the way.
Yeah. So I think she's got, the good thing is that we're doing this all together with like feedback over and over, and there's no eliminations yet. So she has so much opportunity to learn from her mistakes. And so far, up to this point, up to the roast challenge, I think she does a really good job at hearing the critiques and taking them and improving for the next time. So
Yeah.
she's a good learner and she's very resilient. So I'm proud.
Well, moving on to this week, we saw our first mini challenge when we first opened, and our first mini challenge was the reading challenge. So with that, who do you think had the best reads out of all of them?
Karma. It has to be Karma. She went above and beyond. She read all of us. She read you. She read me. She read Mermaid Boy. She read all her competitors. She did it well.
I don't think Dallas was here for that one, but Mermaid Boy, you can back up on that reading challenge when we did the mini one before.
Oh,
there was
the
a mini
mini
one?
challenge. Oh yeah, sorry, Dallas.
Oh, then never mind what I said.
That was earlier. Oh, for the mini challenge. Okay, that was pretty good. I thought Elliot did a really good job, considering they were confused about what we meant by reading when we just sent the assignment. So when we got into the Zoom, it was funny because we were like, okay, who's ready for the reading challenge? And then Elliot was like, yeah, I meant to ask, what is reading? And we were like, oh, sorry, we forgot to explain. I mean, so we kind of just quickly explained it, and then Elliot went last, and then got everybody pretty good. I forgot
Get it?
exactly what they said, but it was really funny, especially for like coming up with it that quickly.
Mine was like, who made me laugh the very most. Mine would have to be Liv, to be honest.
Liv
Because
was
I was living for those reads.
Living.
Hence her name, Live, Laugh, Love.
There you go. You gotta love Liv. Yeah, no, I don't think I was there for that one. That's unfortunate.
I can tell you one thing. The
Mhm.
winner of the mini challenge was Liv. So I agree, but how about you guys?
Yes, I agreed in the time. Liv had the good, like, they were prepared reads, so it was like I was expecting it to be good, but it ended up being funny, so I thought it was righteous.
So we move on to the maxi challenge, and we finally see what happens this week, which happens for the roast. This week's theme is moi. So, do you two love a good roast?
I do love a good roast.
I yeah. I like roasts, but it's hard because you got to know where the line is. And I don't know, it's just hard when you don't know a person very well. But I think most people did a good job of not overstepping any boundaries, which was good.
Yeah, I got read to filth by that day. But it's okay. As long with roast, you gotta at least make it like funny. If you don't make it funny, then it's just mean.
That there you go. You can't just be a bitch. You have to be a funny bitch.
There's a definite art to it where you have to be very skillful in the way you present it. But the cool thing is there's a lot of ways to disguise an insult as a joke. Or like you can do it in reverse where it's like you're being so nice, but you just deliver something so scathing in time.
Yes, yes.
It's all about like it's all about like push and pull and having people what they expect and then saying something that they don't expect.
You know?
But it still has to make sense too because it has to be like quick, so you don't have time to really think about the jokes. You have to when you're watching like live comedy, you want the comedian to do the work for you and you want them to carry you through the performance. But if you have to do any extra work while you're watching, it's just like it's not as funny because when it's a roast, like if you think too much, then it starts to get insulting or awkward and
I think
dead
the other hardest and awkward part for this week would have to be there was no live audience. So they didn't know if they were
yeah,
getting laughed at.
they have to just keep going on a Zoom too, which is like the most awkward way to present anything.
Yeah, like they didn't even have us. Like all, all of the judges are muted, all their counterparts are muted. No, nothing, no feedback.
I think I was like LOLing in the chat.
That's true. If they were reading the chat, there was feedback because a lot of the time it was just
Yeah.
what?
But it was more like a distraction almost because if they stop like look away from their script or something,
Yeah,
it may
true.
have accidentally distracted somebody. I know Glum said that their script actually accidentally turned off during the performance, so they ended up improvising a lot more than they planned.
There you go. They are adaptable, so that's good. It's a good skill to have. Things aren't always going to go right.
Yeah. Well, pretend y'all haven't seen the challenge yet. Who do you think is gonna do well, and who do you think is going to struggle?
In the roast,
Yes, if you haven't seen the roast yet.
I think that just based on how the people are, probably French is gonna struggle because it just seems like they're nice and they don't want to say anything bad about anyone and they find it almost painful to do so. So I don't know how well French is gonna do in this one, but I'm interested to see.
What about you, Mermaid Boy?
I was a little worried for Anastasia just because um when it comes to like having a structured kind of setting with like a stand-up kind of routine within a roast, it has to be very comfortable and planned. And like I said before, if you kind of make the audience do too much work, or they don't trust you as much, it can kind of teeter onto the more insulting side and not come off across as funny. So I was just worried that she might like plan some stuff and then get lost along the way and then kind of falter and not be able to find her way back. Just because I know she's really good at like improvising and going with the flow, but a roast, you really need to have like a couple set points in the middle to keep you on track.
Yeah.
But that was just before I saw anybody do anything.
Well, so with that, the artists start rehearsing in front of Judge. Oh my gosh. What'd you think of the first rehearsal before we actually went on to the roast? I know like Mermaid Boy was there. I don't think Dallas was there for that.
Okay, I'll talk about this quickly. I thought it was really good, actually. I liked watching all the work sessions because I got to see where everybody's like ideas were coming from. So it was really cool to see how each person worked differently. Unfortunately, they only had 10 minutes each though, so the only person that I felt had a little bit of a struggle with that was Anya, just because the first 5 minutes was kind of, they started getting to a really good point at the end, but they didn't have enough time to like, okay, here's what you're going to do, now rework that and then go rehearse that and then do it one more time and then get it stuck in your head, then change this a little bit and then do it again. Like there just wasn't enough time to edit down all the material and get the jokes across. But I thought everybody else had a good, I mean, I feel like I'm reading Anya really bad, but I just thought that I just wish they had a little bit more time to work together specifically. But I thought everyone else, it worked out where they got a couple jokes in and then got feedback and then were able to rework them with just enough time to like fit them into the routine. Whereas I think Anya needed just like 5 more minutes with Joe, or just 5 more minutes after to kind of like get it all down solid, like at least like a run through kind of performance. Again, like it just seems like the challenge part of it really came into play this week. Like it was hard to write that much material that quickly and then kind of perform it as a dress rehearsal, especially when it's a roast. Like it's definitely nerve-wracking to test your jokes out on somebody on stage in front of the judges. So yeah, I thought it was a good work session though.
So we move on finally to the roast. What did you guys think of the roast outfits, like fashion that we saw? As Dallas tries to remember.
I don't remember a single outfit. So I guess that shows you how memorable they were. I think everyone looked nice. Did Glum kind of dress with reading glasses or something, more like a librarian?
I think so.
Like, yeah, so that was a cute touch, but I honestly can't remember what they wore for the challenge itself. I was mostly paying attention to their jokes.
Did you have any thoughts, sis, over here?
I didn't want to expose myself, but I didn't think any of the looks stood out so much. But I thought everybody looked like everybody in the cast, like outside of when we're done filming, I always like think of the cast as each person has like a really distinct character and like a visualized way they represent themselves. So when I think of the group, I think of Karma's signature makeup, Glum's kind of supernatural ghost boy look, and then there's Anya with the beauty mug, and then Liv has the kind of like traditional, her normal makeup, but she's kind of like just a little angry and just a little sardonic, but in a fun way. She's still got the love of the Liv. So I thought it was all the signature characters. Nobody had a bad look or bothered me in that sense.
I don't remember them in a negative way.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't hope you thought of them in a negative way.
What about you? Did you have any standout looks?
I say like the only look that I can visually remember would have to be Liv's, to be honest, because I remember that blue and glitter and everything.
Oh, was it blue and glittery?
I was like looking at Liv and I'm just like, why do I like dream of like a starry night sky? Do you like with Liv's? I saw like, I don't know if you guys ever seen this painting, but like Vincent Van Gogh's like painting where he like paints the whole sky in blue.
Yeah.
Mhm. Wait, you mean Starry Night?
Yes, that's what it's called.
I've actually seen it in person at the MoMA. It's really small. It's like this big. I'm not kidding. It's so dramatic. It's like this small, and there's like always 100 people around it, and it's like the most unimpressive painting in real life. But it's such a good backdrop.
I thought it was gonna be like this big. I know that a lot of Vincent stuff is not huge because oops, poor, and oops, no one buys my art. But I keep forgetting that it's like, no, it's like a paper. Like
Yeah, it was really
9 by
nice.
11.
The only painting that I actually did see ever in my life would have to be the Mona Lisa, and I was very surprised. I was
Oh
like,
wow.
it does not look like how they make it in the movies. It looks small as hell.
Tiny as heck. Very good.
But let's go on to the roast. Let's begin with an all down roast going by artist to see what y'all thought. So, what did y'all? Let's start off since we were just talking about Liv. What did you guys think about hers?
I remember it being very spicy. Like she went places that I don't think other people went. Wasn't her whole thing about how you look really straight?
Yes, I was confused.
That's so
Yeah.
funny.
Okay,
But-
going back to the work session, I think Joe asked her to do a little less of that whole like
Right.
being the crux of the thing of the performance, which she did adapt the material a little bit. It still came off as like that was the main storyline, but during the work session, it was a lot more. It was like Samara is so straight looking that and it went on for like 3 minutes.
It was wearing on me a little bit.
Straight to you guys out of drag now.
Here's the thing, you really don't though. Maybe it's your body language though, because you're very like, I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't see it personally, so I didn't honestly understand the joke.
Let's move on after Liv. Let's move on to Glum.
I thought Glum was good, but we didn't find out about the script thing until the next challenge, so we all kind of critiqued Glum a little harsher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We kind of said it seemed like you forgot your thing halfway through, and they were like, "Oh yeah, that's because my script turned off halfway through." So
Oh.
That, I feel like with comedy, like you always have to like expect, like it's with theater too. You always have to expect the unexpected. Like even if your script turns off, you can like. I feel like with what he did, he picked up from it.
Mhm.
yeah, I thought it was still good. We didn't actually know that the script was gone. We were just like, perhaps.
Yeah.
In an alternate universe, maybe that did happen, but you didn't really let it show too much. Like it was still good. Like it was still pretty good. I would have liked. Sorry.
No, you go.
I don't remember. Seriously, I was gonna say something, but I shouldn't have even started speaking.
I was just gonna say I also liked how, like Liv, he took kind of a different route than everyone else because his whole thing was family and mom core. So it was just kind of, it was wholesome jokes I found in that one. Whereas like Liv was a little bit more raunchy. Like Glenn was just like, haha, mom. Just good.
Yeah, it was a very signature style or unique Glum take, which we didn't know we needed, but it's beautiful.
Well, let's go on to Karma's the bitch.
Bitch.
That one can read on its own. She tore me to filth. She was a bitch.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Oh, it was so scathing. In the
Bitch
best way.
to everyone equally. Equal opportunity, bitch.
Equal scathing. Honestly, I thought she was holding back still, so I want to know what her real unhinged. I don't want to know, but I could tell that she still had to hold back a little bit, and it still came off like. I mean, it wasn't too harsh at all. It was perfect.
Yeah. I want to hear her thoughts. Interesting. Maybe we'll do that in the very last episode, so it doesn't matter if she hurts our feelings.
Yeah, well, just one last chance for a reading challenge, and you can say whatever, and we'll never speak again.
That's what the reunion's for. When our reading classes again.
Yeah, this is the reunion. So if you piss me off, I'm never gonna see you again. Have a nice day.
Unless you do one thing where she gets back for like what we call revamped.
Ooh, maybe.
She has to lose first.
That's true.
She does have a lot of wins under her belt, so
She does. Oh dear.
But with that, let's move on to Lady Monet.
I don't remember a lot of Monet's reads actually.
I remember.
Do you?
You guys like Lady Monet?
I remember that she really went in. She was like, "Oh, you used to party, huh? You thought you were cute, huh?" Like, she was like, "You thought you were something, bitch. You're shit. You mess." That's all I remember. I mean, she didn't say it like that, but
get it.
It was something about you used to be a party boy or something.
I still am. I'm still a party gay.
So that seemed a little bit like there was some personal anecdotes there that that were being referenced off screen.
Mayhaps. Monet is so sweet. It's so sweet.
It was funny because it was kind of like, you know what you did, and we didn't necessarily know what you did, but we still got the vibe. So it still was really funny.
So what do we think about Elliot?
I remember thinking it was good, but I don't remember actually like individual jokes.
There was one that I thought was funny, but I might be biased because I was at the work session, so I heard all the jokes pretty clearly. During the performance, I feel like I'm not sure if they came across the way that I heard them earlier, but I remember cackling. But there was one where Elliot was like, "Why do you talk so quiet when your mouth is so big," or something? I don't know. Oh, he was like, "You have all that space, but you don't." I don't remember, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not quiet though. That's the thing.
Well, you're like this, and then you're like, okay.
No, it's okay because bringing that up, Anya got it right. It's because the one thing that I actually do is because I sound monotone. That's our next one. What did you guys think about Anastasia?
Her impression of you, like I was pretty lukewarm until the impression, and I'm like, oh no. Oh no.
I do sound like that sometimes when I go monotone though, because I'll be watching the episodes and I'll be like, do I really sound like that now?
Yeah, that was really funny.
That's very good, very good.
Well, last but not least, French Comfort. What are our thoughts?
See, this is another one where I don't remember. I don't remember. I don't know. Do you remember it all, Mermaid Boy?
I remember
French was
in a good way. Like, I don't remember anything negative about it. I just remember being like, okay, that was pretty good, funny, but I don't remember like specific jokes.
Yeah, me either. I remember like kind of laughing, but then it kind of like went down in the middle, and then I was like, I kind of understand, I kind of don't.
I might be remembering wrong, but maybe it was one of those like quick in and out, just like dun, 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 dun.
I think it was a shorter one. You're right.
Yeah, I remember French being concerned with time. Like, I'm just gonna read, and then I'm gonna dip. So I honestly, like, it's better to just say what you need to say and then make it short and sweet than try to extend things longer, because then you run the risk of just like leaving yourself vulnerable for more critique. So if you say what you need to say and get in and out, then it comes across as like a fully realized idea rather than something that's just trying to be something else. Not that I thought anyone did that specifically, but I still think it's a good strategy to, like, if you're not super confident, to just kind of do what you need to do and then plan to get off short so that you don't leave with dead air.
Yeah. Don't say shit that you will regret saying. Yeah.
So with that, after we went everybody, who was your favorite roaster of the evening? I'm gonna have to go with between Karma and Liv for me.
Karma for sure.
Yeah, I thought Karma did pretty well with this. Just like reading everybody.
Yeah, just a natural born bitch.
Just had a good flow to it.
Very good flow. I wouldn't be surprised if they had like spent like 2 hours or something outside of the competition just rehearsing it, because it was very solid.
Or has done something like this in the past.
Karma brought up some real bitchy stuff
over there. Real bitchy stuff about everyone. So, you know, good job for going above and beyond.
So who do you think was your least favorite? I say who I can't remember the most, and that would be like, I can't remember Elliot's.
Can't remember. That's fair. I remember having a hard time hearing it, but once you Mermaid Boy, once you mentioned their joke, I was like, oh, it was that one. But I think that I don't remember at all like what French or Monet said, unfortunately. And again, I think the constant theme is it's very rare that someone does poorly. It's just everyone does good and then some people do great.
Yeah, honestly, it's like only being ranked because we have, like, it's not that the last person on the list is the worst, they're just the least favorite of the favorite. It's like the top 10 of all time.
Yeah.
There's only 7 of them.
Yeah.
But even, I don't know, I guess I would probably have to agree that Elliot's, even though I knew their jokes were really funny, the performance I could tell was hard to hear and they didn't come across, so it was really upsetting because I knew they were really funny. Like, the jokes were funny and Elliot has like a cool sense of humor and a good way of delivering things that you'd not really expect, but they're very like pointed and haha.
Yeah.
But the delivery was just it just didn't come across. If we had like more rehearsal time, I think they would. I think they were just a little nervous. Yeah. And it's hard to just like go.
And tired, nervous and tired.
Yes, exactly.
But with that, so we don't all see somber in this video, let's move on to our next question of the evening.
Sure.
So I want to bring up, which is always our favorite part, the runway. This week's theme was Night of Katy Perry. Let's start off with Karma Zavich. What are our thoughts?
It looks a lot like the music video.
It is Katy Perry.
It definitely looks like Roar, like what she wore too.
And I like that Karma did kind of a different makeup style a little bit. With the
eyes. In the eyes.
I thought it was really good for a Katy Perry look. kind of like a simple outfit, but like for the look that it was supposed to represent, it's perfect. So
Mhm. That's true. I did instantly get Katy Perry. I think someone may mention in the reviews though the boobs are a little bit off-putting, but other than that, it's definitely Katy Perry. So
Yeah.
you hit the prompt.
I mean, I think one thing that always gets me too is that Karma's like, my chest hair like really rides up to where the boob area is too.
Mm.
I don't know if she's ever told you guys that, but like literally she said it to like competitors in like competition, like during like getting ready like stuff. So
Yeah, I think she mentioned that the chest hair is kind of part of her thing. So I won't dock her for the body hair.
My body hair is cool.
well, with my decision, I gave this one a hot. What about you, Dallas?
Yeah, I'd say it's hot. I'd say it's hot, especially for the runway, the theme.
Mermaid Boy?
Roar. It's hot.
Roar. Wow.
So let's go on to our next one.
Everybody did get them eating.
Our next look of the evening, French Comfort. I actually did like this one. It was pretty funny, but the first like thought that went in my head was like, I didn't realize it was Katy Perry until after I looked at Gala looks, and I was like, oh.
Yeah. I thought it was a good reference.
Jeez.
But some people didn't get the reference.
Yeah. I thought
okay.
it was a reference from like a totally different thing, and I don't know. It's funny, but I don't know.
Okay.
It's something you can buy from the store.
It's funny because Celine Dion grabbing it like this.
Oh god, jeez.
So I kind of thought French looked like Celine and Katy Perry together.
Oh, their child.
But the outfit itself, I guess, is definitely kind of simple. I really gave points for the reference though.
I say this was in between for me for hot or not. I still don't know what, because I like it, but I also don't like it. So I say it's a hot in and out for me. What about you, Mermaid Boy?
It looks pretty medium to well done, so I'll give it a hot.
Medium well on this French, please. I'm gonna say not, unfortunately. Sorry, French, love you.
Well, let's move on to our next runway person of the evening. Let's bring it up for the motherfucking Lady Monet. This one, I didn't get Katy Perry. And it was also like just like basic for me.
Yeah. Lady Monet's face looks beautiful. The glitter is stunning. It's a cute look, but she really sold it in terms of like reaching into outer space for it to be a Katy Perry look, because it's like E.T., which is technically, I don't know.
But I was like, how does it look like E.T. though? Because it looks like a bug. It doesn't look like an alien.
Oh damn, not a bug. A bug.
But she's the cutest bug I ever did see. Look at her.
That's really cute and really fun.
Yeah, we were going for like a bug or animal or like insect runway, I would get it. And I'd be like, okay, I got you. But like not of Katy Perry, I was just like, E.T.
I think didn't she say that she didn't pick any one music video, but she kind of mix and match. So like the leopard print would be from Roar, and then the antennas were more so the ET. And I'm forgetting what the vest was, but I think she also mentioned that being something else.
It's just like to like with that, you gotta also be careful you don't put too much together.
That's true. Because then it stops reading as Katy Perry and starts being like, cute bug.
So I'll start off the voting. I say this was a not for me, as this was not one of my favorite Lady Monet looks of the season.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a not. It's not even really comparable to anything else Lady Monet does, because she always has like details and a well thought out thing. And this still looks well thought out, and it's a really cute look, but not for the Katy Perry category.
Yeah, I think it's hot as a look. I think it's really, really sweet. But you're right. Theme wise, it's a not, because I'm not sure I would be like, oh, Katy Perry.
Well, let's move on to our next contestant. Live, Laugh, Love. This one, I love the makeup, and I know what video she was going for because she told me before we started like actually filming. But it was just like the ensemble once you saw it all together. It was
Yeah. I think this photo is taken strategically because she's also aware that the makeup's the best part of the look. Like, it was interesting. I'm not the biggest Katy Perry fan, so I did have to look it up like as she was showing off the look. And when I saw it, I'm like, oh yeah, then you nailed like here up. Right. But
probably what she could have done to make it like even like stand out more is just like she got like a military uniform, then we would have got it.
right. Or even just
enroll in the military, serve a couple years, come back for the runway.
yeah. Or even just like a white shirt maybe tucked into like the like khaki pants or something, because it just might read more military than this like off the shelf fashion camo. I don't know. I know that military fashion was really big a few years back as well, so I'm sure thrifting, or maybe you even have something in the closet.
Well, let's start off the voting. Based on makeup, based on look, I give this one a not, sadly. This is not one of my favorite of Liv's looks either.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to give it a nod. Just because, like, Liv could have picked any reference from any music video or any time, and I think it would have been easier to pull off like a more neutral looking Katy Perry with if there was like an outfit kind of restriction. I think Liv could have pulled something together in a different way. But honestly, I don't know, because I don't even have two gloves on today, so I'm not one to speak about. But based on this picture, I'd give it a hot, but it's definitely strategic taking photo. I saw an attempt at styling, and it was cool the way that Liv used different pieces to try to like zhuzh it up. So I appreciated that. But for a Katy Perry runway, it wasn't necessary to go in that direction, and it kind of hindered the outcome.
Dallas.
It's a not from me, boss.
Well, with that, let's move on to the final picture I do have out of the artist, Glum.
Oh, damn. Oh, shit.
My child.
So beautiful. So beautiful.
This one was like, I can tell you, this one was my absolute favorite of all like the runways this week.
So gorgeous. Yeah. Gorgeous. Oh my god.
I like so like got it. Cause I was just like looking, I was just like, yes, I'm living, because I know what exactly you did, because I wanted to do this song too for one of my like drag like numbers.
Gosh, and even just the set dressing, just the absolute bunch of flowers just everywhere. Oh my god.
Honestly, it's so stunning, so beautiful. This was the first time we really saw Glum in like fully more of like a female character. So that was kind of cool to see for the first time. Not that I like asked for it or needed to see it, but I wasn't expecting it, and it was like, wow, I'm so jealous that you're so multi.
Well, I can tell you something along the lines of that. This is why I don't feel like when I like with Glum, I tell him all the time. I feel like we make a joke all the time that he has multiple personality disorder because he has so many fucking characters in his book.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He does have lots of characters. They're very, very talented. And all of them are very, very attractive, I will have you know. Have you seen his TikToks?
Well, with this, I'm going to give it a hot this week.
Hot.
The hottest.
Beautiful. So good.
So let's pause. Wait, are we? So, with the runway, who was your least favorite and who was your favorite? Mine was Glum all the way from my favorite, and my least was it had to be Lady Monet.
Ooh, really? Okay, so that's including the runway and her challenge?
Her runway.
Just her runway. Okay, that's fair. I think definitely favorite has to be Glum. That was a stunning look. My least favorite out of the ones that we saw, probably French. If we're counting all of them, then Anya probably, because it was just very basic and I didn't know it was Katy Perry.
Mermaid Boy.
Definitely favorite was Glum, hands down, just beautiful. My favorite choice was probably Karma's though, just because I thought it was a very recognizable, very iconic, like it's like that thumbnail of the YouTube video that has like 1 billion something views. So I thought it was like a really good choice, and she pulled it off good. But Glum's execution was spot on. So was Karma's, but Glum had the best look overall. Least favorite? I don't know. Maybe. Okay, Anya, I like that she sang during her runway. Right? She definitely sang something. I like when she sings. I mean, I know that shouldn't consider the outfit, but I like that part of it. And she's maybe Liv.
Oh, you're right. Wait, you're right. Can I change?
You didn't see in that picture, but there was
like, can I change?
The bottom half of Liv's outfit, I really didn't. You couldn't see it in that picture, but there was something on the bottom half that was.
It was like a camo skirt, but it was a different camo to the top, and it overlapped, and it just wasn't very clean looking.
Well, with that, some good news. Karma surprisingly wins the roast.
Mm-hmm.
So, do we agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, all the way.
Yes, she did very, very well.
And in the bottom two, sadly, I just thought about it too, are both of my children, Anastasia and Glum.
Oh no! Oh.
It was a good week to be in the bottom though, because the lip sync was for the bottom two for bonus points. So honestly, it was kind of sad to see Glum in the bottom, but it was good to see that Glum had a chance to like redeem themselves at the same time. And Anastasia as well, because she definitely has like a fire when it comes to the performance.
Yeah.
Like the true deep, raw, like passionate kind of drag. She always like excels in that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I was glad that they had an opportunity to show off. Glum show off kind of a new performance strength in a area they're not too comfortable, and then Anastasia showing her like her super strength, whereas Glum is like really good with the details and the looks. Anastasia is definitely more the performance kind of queen. But you know, we'll see what happens in the next coming weeks. Things might change. Glum might become a fabulous performer, and Anastasia could become a look queen.
Who knows?
Well, Anastasia and Glum both lip synced to California Girls by Katy Perry. What did you think of that lip sync? I know Dallas, you weren't there, but I know Mermaid Boy was.
It was really good. It was really good. Like I said, it was exciting to see, to go from watching the top two lip sync in the beginning of the season to now seeing the bottom two kind of, instead of have it like a victory lap, it was more like a last chance to show that they were still fighting strong in the competition. So I thought they both did really good. But I was happy to see Anastasia pull through with a win because, like I said, I think she has a lot of really good talents and a lot of strengths that really highlight her as an individual.
She has a lot of streams that we haven't seen yet until later on.
Yeah. But I thought this lip sync was a defining moment for her to be like, I'm here, this is what I do. I'm really good at it. I'm good at the other stuff too, you know. And she proved, not that I had any doubts or anyone in the competition doubted her, but I was happy to see that she had that opportunity to shine in a moment where she's really strong. And I think it will give her confidence in the next coming weeks to apply those skills to all of her aspects of drag.
Well,
on that.
Anya wins lip sync, but luckily Glum stays safe for another week. But with that, I just want to thank you guys for tuning in to us today. Dallas, you're my favorite big brother of the Bad Kidz family, and I enjoyed having you.
Oh, thank you so much for having me on.
But without further ado, that ends another week in the Clubhouse with Mermaid Boy and I. Thank you so much for watching, and join us next week as we recap the next episode of Bad Kidz Club, Moulin Rouge.
This is a good one. I mean, they're all good ones, but it just gets better from here on out.
Well, with that, goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you, Dallas.
Thank you.